Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh to all the juries and the audience of Zawfi 2022. My name is Zahariah from University Technology Mara. I'm here to present our team's work that is short-term debt structure model of Shariah-Compliant firms in Malaysia. This is our team member, consists of myself, Husniah Abdul Rahim, Hasni Abdullah, Faridah Pardi, and Nur Zahidah Bahruddin. This study emphasized on the determinants of debt structure in Shariah-compliant firms which are listed in Bursa Malaysia. This research is motivated by the issues of inconclusive findings in the area of debt structure. For the introduction, managing debt structure activities have become a major concern due to financial global crises, which have led to financial distress, liquidation, and bankruptcy among the major businesses. An appropriate mix of debt structure is not only imperious to maximize the interests of stakeholders, but also essential for the organization to compete completely and efficiently in its operating environment. The error on deciding the mixed debt structure will lead to financial distress, indebtedness to the organization, and will affect the firm's performance. This study focused on Shariah-compliant firms. The central features of the Shariah-compliant firms are prohibition of activities that involve in riba, maisir, and gharar. There are two fundamental theories that have always been referred to in debt structure studies, which are trade-off theory and pecking order theory. The trade-off theory assumes that the firms will achieving its debt structure optimality if the marginal benefit is equal to the marginal cost. And alternatively, pecking order theories says that the existence of asymmetric information between the managers and investor. For the methodology, there are 305 firms were chosen to form an unbalanced data set across 5 sectors, namely construction, property, plantation, industrial, and trade and services sector that managed to sustain from 2002 until 2011. This data set analyzed the firm's behavior as well as the sectoral behavior. This panel data set comprised of 3,013 observations in total, and the data will be generated from the annual report as well as the Osiris database by the Virudan Vaik. There are a few stages of the analysis. It starts with descriptive analysis and then followed by the addressing the econometric issues such as autocorrelation, multicollinearity, and heteroscedasticity. And later, the final part will be the data analysis by using the statistics model. Okay, these are the debt structure regression model. And the debt structure model, okay, these from the analysis, okay, we try to analyze using the OLS. And after we get the OLS result, we compare with the random effect model, and we found that after we analyze, we test using the Bush-Pagan-Langevin multiplier, we found that RE, a random effect, is better than OLS. And after we did the Hausman test, we found that the fixed effect is better than random effect. And after we did the analysis and multicollinearity, so it is there's no multicollinearity issue. And heteroscedasticity, there are heteroscedasticity, and also there are serial relationship problem, and therefore this is the equation of the model that we get after corrected for hetero and autocorrelation problem. From the findings, we found that there are 8 independent variables that were significant in explaining short-term debt, which were efficiency, bankruptcy risk or Z-score, profitability, tangibility, liquidity, size of the firm, industrial concentration or HHI or Happiness Index, as well as GDP. Profitability, tangibility, liquidity, and size of the firms maintained a negative relationship, and it was significant at 1% with short-term debts. As for bankruptcy risk, it shows a significant negative relationship at 10% level with short-term debts. For efficiency, Happiness Index and GDP, it maintained a positive relationship, and it was significant at 10% level with short-term debts, which is consistent with some of the previous studies, such as Margaritis and Silaki 2010, and as well as Faisal, Afif, and Nizam 2018. For the significance of the study, it shows that the managers of Shariah-compliant firms in Malaysia are practicing hierarchical financing in their debt structure corporate financing decision. It confirms that it prefers to the companies prefers to finance their new projects with internal funding, such as earnings after tax or retained earnings, rather than the external financing, such as debt financing, in the form of ijara or lease contract, or murabaha, or sale contract of asset at markup, and finally mudarabah based or silent partnership, and musyarakah based, that is partnership that share both in capital and management as well as equities. And the internal reserve, if the internal reserve diminish, then the firm will opt for debt rather than equity. The theory emphasized that profitable firms will utilize their profits to finance their investment and use less debt. Debt, according to Sharia principles, need to be backed by asset, or it is tangible asset. Thus, the debt taken should not exceed the value of its tangible asset. A firm with more tangible asset may have higher ability to take up on higher debts. Islamic debt is distinctively different from conventional debts, where the amount of debt would be bounded by the tangible asset owned by the Shariah-compliant firms. It is a bit different from conventional debts. For the publications, there are quite a number of publications that we have published. For example, in Empirical Economic Letters, May 2021, Injia or Journal of Emerging Economics and Islamic Research in 2020, also in 2019, as well as for the magazine, Financial First magazine. Okay, I've wrote in the magazine, for the article in the magazine. The title is Debt in Islam. Novelty of this IID is that structure model involving efficiency, bankruptcy risk or Z-score, and industrial concentration, HHI, having the index, has not been used as independent variable in previous studies. And additionally, this study is on Shariah-compliant firms, which also lacking in this area. For the patent, we have applied the patent and have been approved, approved on 2nd of September. And that's all from us. Thank you very much. With that, um, I end this presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.